Hello and welcome to Symptoms of Menopause, Part 10. And thank you for joining me. If you are new here, welcome. And I'm so glad you're here. And if you're coming back and you've been here with me, thank you so much. And I'm so glad you are here. So we are on to 10, Part 10. And I discussed in my last video that I was going to do a separate video. So talking about where I decided I was taking Wellbutrin. And if you are following along and you have been here, I recommend you start from the start of the menopause series, video number 1 until now, because then you'll totally know where I'm at and what's been going on. So each video I kind of add to it and share what's happening like literally right now or what's been happening. So do that, and I'll leave a playlist up there somewhere. So I wanted to do a separate video. Last video was just an update and talking about more about diet and exercise, which of course I'm struggling with. And then I want to do a separate video on talking about the fact that I was taking Wellbutrin, and I've discussed this. I have a video on it in the playlist, and using antidepressant for perimenopause or menopause. And this was a tough one for me. I don't like taking things, even an ibuprofen. So I was very on the fence about using an antidepressant for perimenopause. But what brought the whole Wellbutrin is the one I'm talking about. And I actually was recommended Wellbutrin for my low or my non-existent libido. That's in another video as well. So I actually was prescribed the Wellbutrin to help with the libido. And it worked. So, which was wonderful. And I took it for about a month and a half until I started to notice some difference. And it started to work. And so a month and a half in, I was like, wow, I actually had the urge or was interested in, having sex. So that was awesome. I mean, that was great, because I have talked about it in my last videos that literally I didn't have low libido. I had none. I mean, it was non-existent. I also did not want even touch. So even my husband touching me was just felt awful. And I'm going to do a video on that as well, because I found in another book that that is a symptom, which any doctor I've ever expressed that to doesn't seem to tell me, oh yeah, that's normal or that's part of perimenopause. So I thought that was interesting. But just not wanting to be touched is also a symptom of perimenopause and maybe menopause as well. So the Wellbutrin definitely helped. It actually helped with that too. My body seemed more open to receive, touch felt nice, whereas for a little bit there, I mean, it did not feel good. I mean, I didn't want to be touched. It was awful. So the Wellbutrin helped with that, as well as the libido. And just also, even though I was not prescribed for it for depression, which it is an antidepressant, it's more of an older, they don't use it as much anymore. They more use it for off-label reasons. So people take it to help them lose weight, to stop smoking. I've talked to women that are on it for sleep, for libido, for sexual dysfunction. So if you're literally struggling with the aspects of sex, whether it's climaxing or... So yeah, I learned so much about this drug. And again, they don't really prescribe it for really someone who's really depressed. Even though we are experiencing symptoms, we can, going through perimenopause, we're going to experience depression symptoms, even though they're not maybe going to label us as clinically depressed, but we definitely are going to have the mood swings, and the highs and lows are very extreme. So I also really found as a bonus that it really did help stabilize my mood, and I felt I didn't have any, those drastic swings, which was great. And that actually was something that I was like, wow, okay, I really was suffering more from the mood swings than I even thought. It also helped with the anger outbursts, where I wouldn't seem to lose it as quickly and often, which was also very helpful. Okay, but now I'm saying all these positive things, and then I decided, well, I didn't decide, but I probably was about 6.5 months into it. April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Yeah, probably about 7 months. And all of a sudden it stopped. It still seemed to be regulating my mood, but the libido was gone again, completely gone. And I have discussed this in my last videos as well, that I actually got the IUD put in, and I started taking the Wellbutrin at the same time. And I have said this in numerous videos that I regretted that, because I really didn't know what was doing what. I was like, why did I do that? Because maybe just getting that consistent progesterone, which is what is, I have the Mirena, so it's only progesterone, but just from getting back that progesterone in check, in balance, that maybe I would just feel better from that. Maybe even the libido would be better for that. But I also started taking the Wellbutrin. So again, I didn't really know which was doing what. So now that I decided to stop, now I decided to stop because of that reason. Maybe that sounds silly, but I wanted to know what was doing what. And so I had regretted that. So I thought, okay, so, and also it stopped working for the libido. It just stopped. I mean, it was just like gone. And I waited a while. I waited about a month more to see if I noticed anything else. And it was like nothing again. And I was like, oh my gosh, here I am again. So I talked to my PCM, my doctor, and she had said that I probably need to double the dose. And then I really had a problem with that. And I'm still searching on why I have a problem, such a big problem with that, but I didn't want to take more. And I also kept getting stuck on the thought of taking an antidepressant when I'm not really depressed, that I do still feel like it's the imbalance of our hormones is why we're experiencing all those symptoms. So rather than take an antidepressant and sort of like a bandaid, and you're not getting down to the root of the problem. So if anyone can relate to that, let me know. And like I said, it kind of sounds silly because it's like I still am getting upset with myself. Like, oh my gosh, if it works, just take it. But then again, it stopped working in that department, which was really the reason why I was taking it. So I stopped. And I also wanted to share in this video that I went to the doctors, and I'm going to be sharing that with you. So I had a few questions to ask my new OBGYN. This was only the 3rd time I've seen her. Yes, and so also this was a follow-up from the IUD, and she checks it out, makes sure it's in the right place and the string is still there. And then also I wanted to talk to her now about more working on balancing my hormones and maybe tweaking and playing with those rather than taking the Wellbutrin. And she was great about it. I kind of was thinking maybe she would say like, oh, well, just take the drug, but I'll let you know right here what she says. Hello. I'm at the doctor's. I am here to see the OBGYN, and I'm just checking in. Wish me luck. I'm a little nervous, as always. And I'm going to be asking her for testosterone. So we're not sure if she's going to give that to me or not. Again, I'm going to try and film. But yeah, wish me luck. I'll be with you soon.
It seems like we don't.
So let me just see, let's just see what the testosterone is. The fact that you still have ovarian function is just going to tell me it's probably and testosterone, the ovaries, the main source of it is from our skin.
Okay.
And then 50% of it's made by the skin,
Uh-huh.
and 25% is made by the adrenal glands, and 25% by the ovary. So in women, the studies show in women that transition, that have their ovaries when they transition through menopause, testosterone really does not change. As a matter of fact, it starts to express itself more because people start noticing testosterone effects like insulin resistance, chin hairs, things like that.
Right.
But what happens though, the studies do show though that many years after menopause, the testosterone does eventually drop and decrease. So anyway, I think it's worth checking. Let's just see.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, we can get that, and then we'll just see, as long as it's not really elevated, I think we can do a trial of testosterone cream and see how you
Cream.
do.
Yeah, I
absolutely.
heard. You think? Yeah, I figured you'd agree that the
Yeah.
cream is probably
Yeah,
best, because you
would
can just
be
use a tiny amount.
tiny amount.
Control the amount more with the cream.
So,
Yeah, I mean, and I wish I could just get off the whole, like, okay, just take the Wellbutrin, it's helping.
no, it doesn't fit right for you. It's okay.
You're okay with it?
Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah,
thought
because
maybe.
you know, why would you want to do something that you
I
don't want
know.
to do?
Yeah, I mean, and it's a bummer, because like I said, it works, and you can pass that on to other women. I think if a woman is desperate, like I was when I came in, like,
Right.
I need
right.
something, like, help me out here, you know, and I feel like it can be great, and I feel like, as you know, we go through perimenopause, we are suffering. It's like we're depressed. We may have depression
Yes.
symptoms and
Yes.
the mood, and that's what I feel like the Wellbutrin also did, is it really just like evened me out.
Yeah, even the mood.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
it
was
does.
like a mood stabilizer. Like
Yeah.
you
You
just.
can stay on the 150.
I
if you
know,
want.
and you know what? This is why I'm kind of get angry at myself. Like, what's the big deal? Like, just take the freaking Wellbutrin. But it was just bothering me. It just, you know, and then when it stopped working, and I was like, oh, okay, well, see, now I got to take more, and I just wasn't comfortable taking more. Yeah.
And then also, I think orgasms are good for the body.
Yes, I do too.
I do.
I think we should be
So-
orgasming every day.
Yeah. Amen. Okay.
Hey, what?
Yes!
Would you say
Yes!
that? Yes, that would be your advice. Okay, I
Yes.
need to put that. Remember, I
It's
do my
relaxing.
YouTube channel, and I'm gonna have to say that the doctor said yes.
The body needs to orgasm.
We should be orgasming every day. I agree.
And the vagina needs to be penetrated.
So let me also let you know what she said, which I thought was really awesome, about when I asked her about the doctor, finding the right doctor, and I liked what she said. Listen here.
Finding the right doctor is huge.
No, it's huge.
And what would you say, if you could say one thing to women that are really suffering, would that be?
I would just say it would be just finding someone who's going to listen,
Right.
and you're not picking up judgment. Yeah.
And can just help you
Right.
facilitate what your
What
needs
you need
are
to
and
know.
what you,
Exactly.
Okay, I think that is huge. I say
No,
that
it's so
because,
true, because otherwise you can feel shut down.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, I've through this struggle, it's like I go to the doctors and you're the one.
Okay, you guys, I got my results. So I'm so glad I'm actually filming, and I called, and I realized I had some results in my chart. So I want to go over, okay, so it looks like my testosterone was 2.4 pg/milliliters, I take it, ml. So standard range shows 0.0 to 4.2. So, which means I'm kind of in the middle, but it doesn't look like I'm elevated or high. So 2.4, the highest is 4.2. So it looks like I'm kind of in the middle. So I'm thinking that she's definitely then going to call in a testosterone cream, which I have researched that that's the best thing to use. Because it's just a little bit easier to control. You can use a very little amount, which is all you need, very small amount. So I am eager to try this, and I'm going to keep you guys posted. So if you are struggling from this, if you have a libido, or if you have a non-existent libido, or if you haven't experienced any change. I would love to hear. We would all love to hear. So please comment below. It gets the conversation going, and please join in. This is my hope and what I pray for this channel is that we can all connect and share. And I really believe that this is the way we're going to get through it. We're also going to continue to get through it by nourishing our bodies, putting self-care first, meditating, or any sort of way you want to think about it, relaxing the mind, and moving the body as well, and nourishing it with eating a good, clean diet, whatever diet that may be, but just clean. I feel like at this time, research is going to continue to show that heavily processed foods is not what we need to get us nicely breezing on through this journey, okay? So I hope you've enjoyed this. I thank you so much for joining me, and I can't wait to hear for your feedback and for you to share on what's happening in yours. I so want to know. So I can't wait to hear. I hope you'll share, and I'll let you know I'm going to start taking the testosterone cream, and I'll let you know how it goes. We'll be back. Thank you so much. All my love.